Good evening and welcome to DNZ. It could be said that tonight's documentary's been 7 years in the making. That's the time it's taken Peter Jackson to make the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Tonight, Peter talks to Jim Hickey about the down-to-earth Kiwi folk who had a hand in the making of these 3 films. Jim travels the length and the breadth of the country and discovers the unsung, humble Kiwis who helped to put New Zealand firmly on the international filmmakers' map.
What a story this is. The Lord of the Rings trilogy, written by J.R.R. Tolkien and published for the first time some 50 years ago. And now, New Zealand director Peter Jackson has brought the 3 books to life on the big screen. The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers and The Return of the King were all shot right here in New Zealand. The world has now seen Tolkien's mythical Middle-earth through the cinematography of Peter Jackson. But over the next hour, we take a journey through the real Middle-earth and visit New Zealanders who worked behind the scenes to help make this the movie phenomenon.
Well, New Zealanders have a great do-it-yourself ability, and I think we also have a certain amount of a reckless abandon, I guess you'd say, because, you know, on the face of it, saying, well, Lord of the Rings, you know, 3 movies, in anybody's books, that would be a fairly daunting prospect, and in a sense, I think our advantage was the fact we'd never done it before, that we didn't know how difficult it was going to be, and as the difficulties arose, we figured out ways to solve the problems, and so it was kind of our naivety combined with our do-it-yourself approach. Don't worry about what everyone else does. Let's just figure out the best way to do it. You know, that kind of combined to actually make it possible. I think there's a lot of film industries in the world that would have actually struggled just to put it into the established infrastructure that they'd be used to.
It has come to me, the One Ring. It shall be an heirloom of my kingdom. All those who follow in my bloodline shall be bound to its fate, for I will risk no hurt to the ring. It is precious to me.
This is the city of Nelson, nestled between mountain ranges at the top of the South Island. Geographically, it's right in the centre of New Zealand, the middle of Middle-earth, you might say. It was here that something small but powerful was crafted, something exquisitely precious to the lifeblood of the trilogy.
My precious.
The wonderful jewellers who made the ring, who had to forge this ring, and it was the, you know, one of the most famous props that we were ever going to use was this ring, and we spent a long time designing that, and we went through a lot of prototyping and of getting the shape right, getting the diameter, the thickness, the amount of curvature on the exterior of the ring.
The One Ring, made right here. Nelson jeweller Jens Hansen was approached to make the prototype ring. Sadly, Jens passed away before filming even began, so his son Thorkild took over the project. Why do you think they came here and chose you?
Yeah, his reputation for, you know, being a sort of a craft artist, contemporary jeweller for the last 30 years, and having the standing that he, you know, did have, was enough for them.
There was more than one ring made.
I guess that's film for you, isn't it? You know, for the shot you have to have the right ring, and if the ring is to go onto somebody's finger, it has to be the right size. So they had to make the ring for each person. Then you had to make more than one. One for the actual shot, one in case it got lost, and one just the backup. So, yeah. So there's quite a few of them. But, yeah, there's still only the one original prototype.
That's still firmly here?
Yeah.
The effects on the business, they've obviously been pretty positive.
Yeah, it has been really good for us because it's expanded us outside of Nelson. I never realised that it was going to be a good thing for us at first, but a friend of mine who's in media was, you know, we were having a drink up at home, and he said, oh, what are you guys doing at the moment? And I said, oh, making these bloody rings for this, you know. And he just sort of jaw dropped, what do you mean? I said, well, we're making the Lord of the Rings ring. And the next thing, you know, he was up the next morning with radios and we're going to do this, and this is huge. And I realised quite quickly then that, wow, this is going to be quite big. You know, we get emails from people in Hong Kong, Singapore, America, Canada, Spain, even Yugoslavia.